Hello and welcome to this new tutorial. Today's algorithm is called string to integer, and it's a medium level algorithm to do. So the assignment says that we need to have a function that takes a string as an input s, and the goal is to return the integer value of string. Of course, we have some conditions that we need to consider. So let's take some example to understand the basics first. So if string s is the string 42, so we just need to return 42 as an output. And the condition says that we need to ignore any leading white spaces. So if there are white spaces, we should ignore them. We should also consider that if there are signs like minus or plus, we should take them in consideration. We should also ignore any leading zeros, and if the string s is empty, we should return 0. And the last and most complicated condition is we should only work with 32-bit signed integers, which means that they should be in between this interval, which is minus 2 to the power 31 and 2 to the power 31 minus 1. And if we exceed any borders, so if we exceed it into the positive way, we should return the maximum value of the border. And if we go to the negative way, we should return the minimum value of the border. So this is a very simple problem if we think about it without all the conditions. So if we have, for example, the string 1, 2, 3. So how would you approach this? So I'm gonna just do a normal loop. I'm gonna have a variable called result that I'm gonna initiate by 0, and I'm gonna have a pointer that's gonna point to the first element, so index 0, and this is index 1 and index 2. And every time I find a new value, so 1, then I need to add it to I need to update it to the result. So in order to do that, I multiply result by 10 and I add the new value. So 0 times 10 plus 1 is 1. Then I go to the next element, so 2. So 1 times 10 plus 2 is 12. And then I go to the next element, which is 3. So I need to add 3 here. In order to do that, I multiply by 10 and I add 3. So this multiplied by 10 is 120 plus 3. So it's fairly simple. And of course, we should consider if there are any plus and minus and stuff. But the most complicated condition that we should care about if we exceed the border of the 32 bytes. So in order to understand this, I put this that I'm gonna use to explain. So let's put them in the middle of the string, on the screen, sorry. So what is this number? This is minus 2 to the power 31. And this 2 to the power 31 minus 1. So if you realize, sorry, I'm gonna it's a little bit hard to draw. So this values here, let's remember these values. How do we get first this value? So this is 2 to the power 31 divided by 10, which is equal to this, 2 to the power 31 divided by 10. And in the case of positive value, so here we have 7 and here we have 8. So this is the only difference between negative and positive values. So every time we calculate the new value of the result, we should just check it against this value. If we exceed it, then we are more than the maximum. If we don't exceed it, if it's just equal, then we need to check if the next value is bigger than 7. In case of negative value, it should be bigger than 8. And that's it. So I think if we code this, you're going to understand a little bit more, because this is the kind of assignment where code speaks louder than words. So we're going to trim any empty strings, and then I'm gonna check if s.length gth equal to 0. So if we have nothing in s, we just return 0. So this is an easy case. And then I'm gonna create a bunch of variables that I'm gonna use to solve the problem. So I'm gonna create variable results, then I'm gonna initiate by 0. This is what I'm gonna return at the end. I'm gonna create the variable sign, which is the sign of the string. So either it's positive or negative. So 1 is positive, -1 is negative. And I'm gonna create an index. Let's index. That's I'm gonna be using to loop over s. And I'm gonna create max int, minimum int. So const max int, which is 2 to the power 31 -1, and max min int, which is -2 to the power 31. And then, because every time I'm gonna be comparing the result to this value here, so I need to store it somewhere. I'm gonna call it compare, max compare or something like that. And it's gonna be max int divided by 10. And I wanna take the integer value of this. So it's gonna be max floor of this. And then and that should be it. All I need to do now is start my algorithm. So I'm gonna check if s of 0 equals a plus, then it's a positive number. I need just to increase the index to the next value. If s of 0 equals to minus, so what should I do? I found like a negative, the minus, so I need to say that the sign of the number s is negative, and I need to increment the index as well. And here, before returning results, I need to do results times sign. And now I need to do a while, and I need to loop over the elements of the string, the numbers, and take them and add them to result. So all I need to do is index smaller than the length of the string, and also I should only consider the numerical values. So it should be between 0 and its s of index should be smaller than 9. So if I am inside the string and I found a character between 0 and 9, then I should go inside the loop. I should increment, so I am guaranteed that I get out of the loops sometime soon. And every time I should get the new value from the string, which is parse of int of the s of index. And result, as we said in the explanation, is going to be result times 10 plus the new value. And just with this code doesn't cover this condition, but it solves most of the problems. Let's just like verify that. So making an error here. So as you can see, most of the cases, they are covered, but the case of did we exceed the border of the 22 signed number integers, that is not covered yet, and that's the hardest part. So I check if sign is positive number. So if S is a positive number, I need to check against the maximum number. So I need to check like this. I'm gonna just split it like this. So I'm checking if I exceeded the maximum value. And in order to do that, I just do results bigger than this max compare, or so if I exceed max compare, I'm guaranteed that I exceeded the border. Otherwise, if I'm equal of results equal and the new value is bigger than 7 in case of positive. So here, if the result is equal to this and the new value is bigger than 7, then I'm in the case where I should return the maximum value. Return max int. And I should do the same for the negative values. So I should check if S equals to minus and results bigger than compare. Yes, it should be bigger or equal, and the new value should be bigger than 8. So that's the only difference between positive values and negative values. And in case we are smaller than the minimum value of the border, then we need to return min int. Sorry, I made a mistake. And that should be it. That's our code. Let's test it. And it's accepted. I'm gonna submit to see all the cases. So I have some cases where I got nothing. So why did I get nothing? Like in this case, I got 41. Yes, it means I didn't take the 9. I made a mistake here, so it should be equal. This. And there you go, this solution is accepted. So it runs in an O of n processing time, and it's an O of 1 memory complexity. So I hope that you liked the explanation. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more videos. I'll see you in the next one.